All right, class, this is number 24. Cosine of 2x plus sine of x equals 0. When, what x values work for this equation between 0 to 360 or 0 to 2 pi? So I can show you both of those answers. So the first thing we need to do is get these to be the same, either both cosine or both sine. Since this is the chapter on double angle theorems and double angle formulas, we're going to change cosine of 2x so that it's the same, has the same function as sine. So there's three options we can choose. Okay, there's three options for cosine. We have the first one, technical difficulties. Okay, we got the first one, the second one, first one, second one, or third one. Well, we want to choose, so there's three different options. We want to choose the one that gets rid of cosine. So I'm going to choose the bottom one here. I'm going to take that one. 1 minus 2 sine squared of u, put that in for cosine. So this becomes 1 minus 2 sine squared of x. I still have this, and it equals 0. Now this looks like a problem that we had in our previous on our previous test. Many of us got this wrong, so I'm going to show this problem again. This is just a factoring problem. Okay, so I want to factor this, so I'm going to get it in order. And I don't like a negative sign starting this problem. So I'm going to multiply everything by -1. So I get 2 sine squared x minus sine minus 1 equals 0. And like I said, now we just got to factor this. So I'm going to put it into brackets. And you'd factor this just like you would factor 2x squared minus x minus 1 equals 0. Okay, so this would factor to 2x, x, 1, 1, plus, minus. Okay, so we want 2 sine x plus 1 sine of x minus 1. And then, so this is your a times b equals 0. So I want to figure out when this part is 0. Well, that would be when 2 sine of x plus 1 equals 0. Solve for sine. Sine of x equals -1/2. And when does this equal 0? Sine of x equals 1. So we got to figure out what angles give us a sine value of -1/2 and what angles give us a sine value of 1. So I got my chart here. Which angles, so I don't have the top here, but this column is sine. This is just from your note sheet I gave you. This is sine, this is cosine, so we don't care about cosine. We want to know in this column, when do we have either a value of 1 or -1/2. So here's a -1/2, and that's at 210, or 7 pi over 6. When else do we get -1/2? Not quite enough room. Let's do this. Oops. There we go. Okay, so 210, if you're working in degrees, or 7 pi over 6. These are both when we have -1/2. We have another time when we're -1/2. It's just off the sheet. Okay, right down there at 330, or 11 pi over 6. And then the last one is at, we want 1. So that'd be 90 degrees 90 degrees, or pi over 2. Okay, so these are your 3 answers for this problem, number 24. Hope this helps.